WDRB, Fox News at 4 starts now.
But first, the news alert this afternoon. Students at Liberty High School walking with a teacher make a gruesome discovery, a dead body.
Tamara Evans is there live, where right now police say it's a death investigation. Tamara?
Well, that's right. Homicide detectives are here on the scene right now. Here at Liberty High School, they've been making their way in and out of the front entrance. But again, at this point, they are just referring to this as a death investigation because they say there is a lot to investigate at this point. A group of 10 freshman students from Liberty High School were walking behind the school as part of their humanities class and spotted the body in a creek area behind the school. That is a wooded area. They immediately alerted their teacher and security officer, who called police.
A death investigation near Liberty High School becomes a murder investigation.
Students discovered the body as they were outside for class. Tamara Evans joins us with new information tonight that she has just learned about who this person is. Tamara.
Well, guys, we have learned that it was the body of a teenage boy who actually lived in that area but did not go to school at Liberty High School. Police are confirming for us late tonight that that boy was 14 years old and that this was not an accident. For much of Wednesday afternoon, officers and homicide detectives with the Louisville Metro Police Department spent the day behind Liberty High School after a startling call.
We had a group of 10 students from a humanities class. They were freshmen. They were in the back of the school doing an activity as part of their lesson, and as they were conducting that activity, they happened to look over into a ditch that runs adjacent to the school, and they saw what appeared to be a body.
It was indeed a body, and WDRB has learned it was a teenage boy who lives in that area. We are told he attends a different school. He was found in a wooded creek area behind Liberty High School.
It's unclear this time how long he's been there. The coroner will decide and do his determination. It is not believed that he's been there for an extended period of time.
Police spent much of the afternoon canvassing the area and speaking with neighbors.
They just wanted to know if we heard anything or seen any kind of suspicious activity last night, which I didn't, and I think I went to sleep around 12:30.
But today, Lonnie Skaggs and other neighbors saw plenty of activity behind the school as detectives and officers spent the day in the creek area where the body was found.
It's very surprising, this close to home, you know, but there are a lot of youths that travel back and forth up and down the road during the night, sometimes pretty late at night. So, you know, I guess it's just opportunity for things to happen.
We have learned the boy's death was not an accident. Police continue to investigate to determine what happened to the teenage boy. And officials with the LMPD are asking anyone who has information on this case to please give them a call. School officials say as for the students who discovered the body, they were pretty upset with what they saw and were offered counselors to speak with. Reporting live from Louisville, Tamara Evans, WDRB, Fox 41 News. There's no doubt about it.
Can't wait till the show.
10-year-olds Cameron Nelson and Trent Stetzer are huge wrestling fans, but for this show,
are you ready to show Trey what it's all about? And if he looks down,
there's a special meaning.
Trey was here last time.
It wasn't too long ago, 14-year-old Trey Zwicker sat in these seats at an Ohio Valley wrestling show. Like these fans watching his favorite wrestlers. His was Cliff Compton.
It's quite the honor. I do remember seeing him in the crowd. He was here when I had a hellacious fall off a ladder and broke my ankles.
You could hear the bone crack, yeah. And Trey was sitting right there, right beside that number 2 guy. And he was like, oh! And that's the last time I got to see Trey.
Trey's body was discovered on May 11th in a creek behind Liberty High School. So far, there have been no arrests, and his cause of death has not been released, but police say foul play was involved.
I'm just down that Trey didn't get to come here because wrestling was his favorite show.
So for this show,
the Zwickers, this goes back to Trey's great-grandfather.
The wrestlers are fighting for a bigger cause, to pay tribute to Trey.
I don't think there's enough words. Cliff has got a heart of gold, and he's just super great.
You know, these guys, they're so big, but their hearts
are bigger,
so much greater. Trey will be looking down on us, and he'll love it.
And for his family members who are among these fans,
love you, Trey.
They're yelling extra loud for the young teen taken too soon.
Because I want Trey to hear me up in heaven so that he can wake up maybe and look down at us.
Police have made an arrest in the murder of 14-year-old Trey Zwicker.
Trey's family says his own stepbrother is the suspect, and as WDRB's Tamara Evans explains, they don't think he acted alone. Tamara.
Well, Trey's family says the two boys seem to get along well, but it's hard for them to believe that a teenager could have pulled off such a brutal crime by himself. There's one answer Terry Zwicker still wants in the murder of his 14-year-old son, Trey.
We still have one more hurdle, and that's to find out why.
On Thursday, police announced that a 15-year-old had been arrested in the case. They won't release that teen's identity because he is a juvenile. But Terry Zwicker and family members tell us that it was Joshua Young, Trey's stepbrother. The arrest citation says the suspect beat Trey to death, then disposed of the murder weapon and clothing. Trey had been living with his mother on Vim Drive near Liberty High School, where his body was found.
He had lived in the house with Trey. He had probably slept in the same room as Trey. Yeah, I mean, that's how close he actually was. It was just a sick ordeal altogether, all the way around.
Josh Young was at the center of an Amber Alert last week. He was found with his father, Joshua Gowker, who is also Trey's stepdad. Police say Gowker kidnapped a woman near Birmingham and is facing charges in Alabama. Trey's family says Young returned to Kentucky, where he was arrested.
To believe that there's actually a 15-year-old kid that's capable of doing that, that's sick.
His family says the arrest does give them a little bit of closure, but they say they do not believe that Josh Young acted alone.
I believe that there was definitely more than one.
The beating that he received, there's just no way another child could do that.
As for the teen that police have arrested, the family is just hoping he's not tried as a juvenile.
I want him tried as an adult. I want him to have an adult-sized punishment.
And police say this is an ongoing investigation, which means there could be more arrests in this case. Reporting live from police headquarters, Tamara Evans, WDRB News. Without a doubt in Terry Zwicker's mind,
I know that the young man who did this is behind bars and is going to remain there quite some time.
but this father still has questions. His son, 14-year-old Trey Zwicker, was found beaten to death behind Liberty High School on May 11th, located near Trey's mother's house.
We know everybody. I don't understand how something like this can happen. We know everybody in this neighborhood. This is our home.
Court documents say at the scene, police questioned his friends and family, including Trey's stepfather, Joshua Gowker. Gowker's son, 15-year-old Joshua Young, was later questioned in the case and disappeared with his father to Alabama. They were arrested for unrelated charges. Young was brought back to Louisville, while Gowker spoke to authorities about the murder.
They asked Trey what time it was. Trey pulled his phone out of his pocket, and then when he put the phone back in there, he hit Trey in the head with it. And then when he fell, he said he hit him like 15 times.
But it seems there were quite a few people who Gowker says his son confessed to, including a family relative who says she drove Josh to a dumpster to dispose of the weapon and bloody clothing.
I seen some blood on the baseball bat, but I still thought he was lying.
That's something that isn't sitting well with Trey's father.
I don't understand why another adult human being would take a child in bloody clothes and a baseball bat and dump them off and not have any ties to it. I mean, you might as well swung the bat yourself if you're going to do that.
While Terry Zwicker says he plans to be at every court hearing until this case finally wraps up, he's hoping justice will be served.
If you did something to enable or help, you're just as guilty to me.